Gonna be Majao trying to see if he can go for a bit of a 1v1 versus Short and Deadly, and they're allowing it just so they can really tussle out on the arena. The Chief in the back waiting his turn tier on that team. We got us Volk, which is chill pills on his priest, as well as Diabolical back on the Destruction. Warlock, where you are. Majao out in the open, no more invis, waiting for his turn, waiting for Short and Deadly to approach him. Ring of Frost in one end, could go for maybe a Ring of Fire in the other. Arcane switching it up a little bit. Interesting. A bit of a redo with Ring over on that team. We got us as Rosie, Scar, as well as Supa. Ready to go. Big charge by the Warriors. Stun as Majao trying to see if he can reposition. It's going to be reflect up really early for Short and Deadly. Wildblade storming into a fear before Majao can get himself a big go. All the time is available for the mage. I think he's going to be able to reposition, and I think Short and Deadly is waiting for the reposition. Trying to see if we can find him. I don't think he really gets himself the right angle, though. I think he was trying to see if he can... I think he was here all the time. Oh, wait, he's over there all the time? Okay, well, now I'm super far away from the guy. Trying to see if he can maybe use the Blade Storm in order to close the gap into an avatar just to remove any kind of souls off for himself. Maybe he can go for the normal racial to remove the root, and does get to do so. Stun onto Majao with a reflect, but mostly just trying to see if he can get away from the guy. Ring of Frost, not gonna step into it. Actually, in a pretty good spot. As long as you don't walk away too far from the pillar, you should be able to go for a bit of recovery. Does go in for a bit of a reset with the mount, and it's actually in a decent spot as the second wind is letting him recover a little bit of health. Majao had himself a bit of burst, still holding on to a trinket, and so is Short and Deadly. We'll see which one of these two competitors ends up coming out on top as Majao wait for cooldowns to recuperate. Bro, Arcane, I'm not coming to him low. Yeah. Fire, one story. Arcane, So it might be up to Majao to find a way to get over there. Otherwise, dampening, who's that going to help out? I think it kind of sort of helps Short and Deadly just because he got a lot of burst. But man, Majao trying to see if he can knock him into the Ring of Frost, does get to do it. Trying to see if he can bait the warrior away from the pillar. Finally goes in for a quick old charge. Second charge right after Majao with another blink, leaping behind the pillar. This is where Short and Deadly, I think, is going to have to hug the pillar. He's going to have to turn this battle into a CQC mode. Trying to get Majao close and personal, but not play out in the open where the mage could just run circles around the guy, trying to go for roots with misses around the corner. Defensive stance for Short and Deadly. It's going to be another knockout in the open as Majao using those blinks just to bully and harass a little gnomish warrior. Stuns him with a Blade Storm, got himself full avatar as well as a battle sense ready. If you got yourself big roar, that's going to be a lot of blades. Probably going to force out an ice bucket on Majao. If you have yourself shatter, that could be huge. Trying to see if he can maybe charge back in, but a root right after intro Arcane Surge, leaping away. Still going to be a pretty big surge. Barrage is going to do a lot of damage. Maybe touches Magi. Does not have touch by the looks of it, though. But Short and Deadly got himself full defensive. Even a battle stance. Oh, not battle stance, but a die by the sword. Looks like the bleed from Majao, the roar, did not do nearly as much damage as I was expecting it to. But Short and Deadly gonna try to see if he can hug to the walls, trying to reposition maybe a quick charge to Majao into a Stormbolt right after. Does go for the blink last second. It's gonna be a Blade Storm, avoiding the breath, but still Majao got plenty of movement, trying to see if he can get him slow. Reflect up right after. Majao takes a bit of damage all the time. Doesn't get him super steady. More missiles to follow. Next execute could be really deadly if the guy ever closes that gap. He doesn't have the mobility at the moment. Every single barrage does pop a slow onto the warrior and gives movement speed for a Majao. Just literally spell steals movement speed. Defense stands for short. Trying to see if he can back up out of the Majao. Wants to see if he can close the gap. He has him on the ropes in the execute range. Wants to see if he can set up a Ring of Frost on one side. Maybe get some damage down on the other side. Big freeze into the short, but doesn't get hit with the barrage. Starting to recover a little bit of health from a second one Short. Looking to maybe make some damage happen. Big mortal strike to get him kind of low into an execute. Oh, do you have a shatter? He doesn't play shatter. He's just gonna have to. Majao, though, does not play for a heal outside of an ice block. That's gonna make things a little bit more deadly. Blade Storm to follow. Ult Storm available. Is gonna get himself kind of super low, though. Maybe trying to blink around the corner. Got himself plenty of movement. This man is just zooming. He's just running all over the place. He's just a NASCAR. It's gonna be a battle stance for Short Deadly. Needs just one little auto attack through the wall. Does he get it? One execute is all he needs. One Stormbolt. Got himself Stormbolt charge. Oh, that was going for the quick execute. He's gonna sit for the teabag at the end. Oh man. Oh man. Ice block that doesn't heal. I feel like a lot of mages just don't spec into it when it comes to normal arenas. Inside of a duel though, that is definitely worth a point. If I get the healing block, yeah, it happens. Also, I feel like Short and Deadly could have ran Shatter. You know what I mean? So he forgot Shatter, you forgot a healing block. It basically countered each other in a way. But I would like to see what that would look like when you guys were both ready to go with everything, right? First one, trying to see if you can win that one. Parry out for Short and Deadly. This is waiting out for the turtle shot to fall out from Ring. Ring trying to see if he can get himself a Death Striker back in, but the executes are starting to crack right through the defenses. Got himself last second shielding with a bit of a survive the fitness, but is he fit enough to survive this one? Scatter onto Short, stun as he leaps right in, trying to see if he can kite the warrior back towards the basilisk. Stun onto Ring in that execute range. I think it just might be going down. Does end up going down with Rosie gonna be up next, charging out immediately into a cheetah together with a camo. Short will not be able to catch up in healing, trying to go for a bit of that impending victory, but a stun is going to be able to slow him down. Blaze him to break himself out of the stun, doing a bit of damage to Rosie, trying to go for big executes, disarm last second. It's just going to be a big explosive right down the middle. My goodness, Diabolical trying to see if he can just get in there immediately. Infernal dropping in is going to be able to stun the pet, trying to get the succubus over to Rosie as it going for feign death. Many advantages, should be able to interrupt it with a pet. Succubus, you see, trinkets out of this one immediately, got himself a havoc onto the pet. I think trying to see if he can maybe go for a mortal coil on both of them. In fact, didn't they change it so you can mortal coil havoc, or adjust it in some way somehow? That's no longer a thing, or did they? Because I was pretty sure they did something with mortal coil havoc for PvP specifically. Or is it the AoE Havoc ability to fix it? I'm not even sure, honestly. It's going to be free to jump onto the succubus, trying to go for feign death. At least you're moving all the dots. Rosie's not in a great spot. Is there a pet still in it? Yep, keeping you in combat. That succubus is going to... Where did the succubus go? There it is. Trying to get your pet to attack the succubus. If you can taunt the succubus, you might be okay. Having to pop a turtle shell with a manic bandage just to get himself a little bit of recovery. That is unfortunate. Diabolical trapped up in a biting shot. Wants to make sure he doesn't break that tether if he can. It has to do it anyways. Rosie looking for the recovery, at least get himself a little bit of healing. Maybe you can get out of combat and get himself a feign death camo, but your pet is dotted. Camo is going to last for like half a second at the best. Mortal coil as you charge right in, but Diabolical's ready to incinerate you down. Up next is going to be Supum. Charging as a fire mage this time around. Breath on the Dia. Immediate succubus, you see, eating a soul flame right to the face. Got himself a random bout of bloodlust. It's trying to see if he can port him around the corner. It's going to put him out in the open with all the portals. Super might be in a bad spot. Maybe Icebuck situation. That's going to be cheating death. Icebuck at least get himself a lot of health recovery right now. But Diabolical, man, that's a lot of damage. Put the guy out away from pillar while we're watching him with chaos from every angle. This doesn't give him much of a chance. Trying to see if he can go for a bit of port. Succubus, you see, that is going to be I think an alter time. Bonzafel is going to hurt, but depending when he alters back, could be pretty bad. Trying to see if he can drop down a meteor down onto Dia with an alter time just to get himself a little bit of health recovery into a Ring of Frost. Dia can't really go anywhere, but they don't really need to go anywhere at all. Stun onto Super for just a second with an Incinerate one, maybe one more Incinerate. Oh, those Incinerates do so much damage. This is going to be Flex up next. Immediate succubus, you see trinkets out of it, trying to see if he can take down Dia while they're out of position, as Dia looking to get back to the far side of the pillars at the 8-minute mark, trying to go for a fear. Going to get interrupted. Soulfire, but after is going to go for another CC onto this one. Dia with a wall, and that's going to be at least an opportunity for you to get some free casting with the Soulfire, trying to stay super aggressive. Bonzafel breaks it, but he used Metamorphosis to get out of that one, so actually immunes it, ports way him out in the middle of the arena, but is able to slay the Warlock last second. With Volk trying to see if he can maybe reposition back behind the pillar. Scar needs to get in there, do as much damage as he can. Stunned up, but he's still got him some Metamorphosis as well as Blur, so that's a good situation to at least recover a little bit of health. 47% damage, but it at least gives you an opportunity to get something done. And Volk, some way, somehow, is able to avoid this Sigil of Misery. Either the Imprison kind of held him in there for too long, where he was able to avoid Misery. That or he had to fade it last second, but I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention at the time. He's going to drop down the Shadow Fiend for just a moment, trying to see if he can get around the pillar. The Scarflex trying to avoid the guy as best as possible. Quick stun onto Volk. Ivan right after got himself a bit of that leech with a bit of that soul carve as well. So any hits from demon form should be quite strong and should make the leech healing a little bit more amplified. Dropping down darkness while he's got himself not a lot of places to go to. In the execute range, I think it's just gonna be over, and Volk does end up sniping him out. Well done, well done. Yo, Diabolical picking up too. Short and Deadly fighting his battle, doing pretty well. I do wonder how that would have went differently if, let's say, you had your Shatter and they had their Icebark heal. How that duel would have went differently. But I like that one either way though. I think just about everybody got to play except for like maybe 2 on Team Chilled. But who knows?